For our digital essay, we did The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It is published in 1937 with 310 pages by George Allen and Unwin. The Hobbit is based in Middle-earth around the peril of Bilbo Baggins, an idle-aged hobbit who has lost his sense of adventure, who then goes on a journey of a lifetime. "I'm going on an adventure," Bilbo said. It is the prequel to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. It starts off with Bilbo Baggins writing a book, There and Back Again, A Hobbit's Tale. The base of his adventure is that many years ago in the past, a powerful dragon named Smaug captured a great dwarven city called Erebor, the Misty Mountain. He is still sleeping in that city and guarding the treasure inside. 13 dwarfs, Gandalf, a wizard, and Bilbo set out to the city, hoping to use Bilbo to slay the dragon, because from the book, I quote, "He doesn't know the smell of hobbit." In the beginning they are pursued by a band of orcs and driven into the Goblin Caves. This is where Bilbo finds the surrounding ring of power that is the basis of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Along the way to the mountain they face foes and enemies, trolls, spiders, and elves. They end up finding the treasure and defeating Smaug. The other races in Middle-earth also want that treasure that Smaug was guarded at a battle of curse. In the battle, the orcs come down from the mountains, and all the other races band together to vanquish them, which they succeed. They sort out their differences, and Bilbo goes back to the Shire as a wealthy hobbit. In our opinion, The Hobbit is a good book because of the perspective it is written in. It is told through Bilbo's word while he is writing There and Back Again. He describes all his feelings through his perspective, and that gives the book depth, which makes the reader feel the situation he is in. This also makes it so they have two parts of the story, Bilbo writing it and the actual adventure, so the story is seen from 2 points, which makes it more interesting to read. I'd recommend this read to people around the ages of 12 to 13. I would not recommend it for younger readers. I would not recommend this book for younger readers because of some of the older English phrases used will not make sense to them. It has been a successful and popular book, and it's quite good in the sense that even in these modern times, it still makes sense and it's not hard to read, unlike old Shakespearean stories and plays. It is almost advanced for the time. They have quite reasonable technology in Hobbiton, and it does not make it look old-fashioned. And it looks like the book has been written in modern day, which appeals to the younger generation and makes it so they don't feel like they're reading so itching that this is old and boring. This book gives you a sense of realization that this happened to people in history, and even in this modern day. For example, villages in the Hobbit have battles and get burned to the ground, much like stuff that has happened to people like the Great London Fire. It also gives a sense of urgency, and you start to feel sorry for the dwarfs as they lost their homes, and when they start to tell their backstory, they've been through so much and they have nothing. Between us, our favourite character is Killy, as he is an archer, and we think archers are really cool. I quote from Lord of the Rings wiki, "Physically able, Killy possesses the invincible courage of the youth. He is a witty character, and his attitude adds up some humour to the book. It's also good to see the relationship he has with his brother Philly, a sort of love-hate relationship." The Hobbit is set in Middle-earth, Tolkien's fantasy universe. The story is mainly set around the Shire, Bilbo's home, where all the hobbits live. Erebor, a massive dwarf stronghold built on a lonely mountain. And Dale, a rich human city. All these places are described in impressive detail, and J.R.R. Tolkien paints a picture in your mind with the descriptive language he uses. The main theme of the story is the evolution and maturity of Bilbo as a character and a person. He starts off as timid and scared, not wanting to go on an adventure, but he changes into a warrior who stands up for his fears and his friends. In chapter 15, he shows courage and intelligence when he talks to Elf King about a truce. I quote, "Bilbo Baggins," he said, "you are more worthy to wear the armor of elf princes than many who have looked more comely in it." The mood of the scene is dark, sinister, and bittersweet. Bilbo flees in the night from the dwarfs to go over to the enemies, betraying his friends, even though Bilbo knows this is their best intentions. It becomes bittersweet because he knows this might not have a good effect for the dwarfs, and they might be angry with him. The Hobbit, in our opinion, is well written and has served the purpose it was wrote for. The writing style is powerful, but at the same time very swift and smooth. There are no bits where you thought this is boring, because no matter where in the book you were, there was always something in the background happening, or an important part which you couldn't miss. The only weakness we could see is that some of the terms the younger generations might not understand, but we will find a reading it, and we will feel in the right age for it because we do not struggle with the terms. There are very few weaknesses, but a lot of strengths, such as the amount of description in the battles. We think that changing the Battle of Smaug would improve the book. We think it could be more descriptive and drawn out because most of the book is building up to this point, so it should be a big ending. In conclusion, if you're looking for romance or horror, The Sainted. If you're looking for a great read that has action, adventure, and turns and twists that you'll never expect, go out and find The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Thanks for listening. By Euan and Alex Kirby.